Hi everyone. My name is Pat Fink, and I'd like to thank you for joining in here on this 5 day Facebook clinic. It's really going to be very basic. Um, as many of you know, or as you may not know, I spent about 28 years as a realtor. Excuse me, the phone's always ringing, which is a good thing. Um, I spent about 28 years as a realtor here in northern Fairfield County, Connecticut. For the first 10 years of my career, I was a realtor. I was out there in the trenches doing what all you guys do, looking for buyers and sellers and networking, etc. Um, I've actually been licensed since 1978, which is a lot longer than 28 years. See, I told you that phone never stops. I should probably put it on silent, but normally I answer my phone. I've always tried to make that a priority, but while I'm recording a video, not so much. Um, but after about 10 years of selling real estate, I was honored to be asked to manage a real estate office for one of the big brands here in the Northeast. Actually, I think Weichert is more, it's the whole entire Eastern Seaboard and then some now that I know they've franchised. But then I went on from Weichert to Coldwell Banker, which was amazing. And then I managed for Sotheby's and then Berkshire Hathaway. I left management. I have my license with Coldwell Banker as a salesperson. I'm still a broker, but anyway, in the interim though, I discovered ways to get leads online, and I did that without using uh, uh, Trillo. Excuse me, Zillow or Trulia. I use another product called Trello, which is really awesome for getting you organized and keeping you on track and so forth. So I guess I tend to get these names a little mixed up. But anyway, Zillow and Trulia and even Realtor.com, they all have you paying some big fees monthly in hopes to get some leads out of them. And as you know, if you've done it, a lot of the leads you get aren't all they're cracked up to be. A lot of it is a real waste of time. Although I always told my agents that if you go through all those leads that are a waste of time, but you come across one that buys or sells a house, it pays for it. It makes it all worthwhile. So it's as with most things, it's a numbers game. So don't ever be afraid to do that. Although, wouldn't it be nice if you were able to get your leads directly from the internet or directly from social media? And that's really what this is all about because when I left management in 2016, I was on a non-compete agreement, so I really couldn't practice real estate. But it gave me an opportunity to learn about internet marketing. And I'll tell you, I never looked back. It is something prior to my real estate career, I sold personal computers in what used to be called computer stores way back in the early from about 1980 to the early 90s. There were things called computer stores where you went in and you talked to a guy and you bought your computer. Um, those days are gone. You either go to Staples now or Home Depot, or excuse me, Costco, or online to get your computers. But in any event, um, uh, technology is always something that I'm like a fish in water when it comes to it. I just love it, and so now being able to merge my real estate career with the internet and social media has been a great thing. Um, in fact, as you know, in real estate, it's a referral business, and as a licensed realtor, you can help someone buy a house in Florida if you live in Connecticut, or in Wyoming if you live in Texas or wherever. So when you're on the internet, if you get a lead from someone, it doesn't matter where they are, you can help them by referring them to another realtor. And that realtor does all the work, and then you get a nice referral check in the mail, which is a great thing. So anyway, so I put this little clinic together, a little free clinic. I just want to help you to utilize social media. Now, a lot of people found me through Facebook, so I don't want to bore you too much with the basics. But just in case you're one of those folks that still haven't gotten a Facebook account, it's really not that difficult to do. You simply navigate to facebook.com up here in your address bar. Type in facebook.com, and it's going to bring you to a sign-in page. I already have an account, so it's going to just let me in when I push that login button in the upper right-hand corner over there. And but if you don't have an account, you create a new account here. And if you follow, you'll see a circle on your screen. Every once in a while, I'll light up the circle so you can see where I am, but where the cursor is located. But anyway, so you fill in your name, your address, your date of birth, etc., and you create the account. And I'll tell you, if you haven't done Facebook, it's really a great tool. It's like when you go to a friend's house and they break out their photo album, and you can sit there on their living room sofa and go through their photo album and see all the pictures. Well, it's pretty much the same thing, except you're able to do it from the comfort of your easy chair, or even nowadays you can do it on your phone, in your car, or whatever. But so Facebook has become a real communication tool. And there's a side app or side application to Facebook that's known as Facebook Messenger, and that's just like texting on your phone. But you're texting, you can text from your phone, you can text from your laptop computer, but it's a whole other way of communicating with people. And yes, I know information's coming at us all like it's coming through a fire hose. I mean, it used to be. I remember when I was managing a real estate office in Ridgefield, and I had realtors coming up to me and saying, "Hey, that new email thing, I'm not going to be using that." And I was like, "Oh, somehow I think you will be." And of course, email was pretty new at the time. And then, of course, we all use email. I must get 200 emails a day easily. And then texting came about, and I heard some of the same things. In fact, I have to say, I was probably one of those guys that said, "No, I'm not going to be using that." Well, sure enough, we're all using texting now, and now along comes Facebook Messenger. And Facebook Messenger is pretty cool because you can do, you can send photos back and forth. You can do live video chats where you can actually, and it's great for grandparents that don't get to see the grandkids enough. It's like Skype. And I know I'm trying to talk to a wide group of people, some that already know what Facebook is, etc. So I'm not going to bore you much further. So I'm going to hit the login button here and log you into Facebook. And just a quick navigation of Facebook along this top blue bar at the top here. You've got an address bar, and you can put in anyone's name that you're looking for, and they'll pop up. This button right here is that brings me right to my profile. So this is my profile button, and this shows me the profile picture that I put there, the background picture that I'm using. In fact, I'm way overdue for changing this. It's really a good idea to keep this fresh. You want people to get to know you by just glancing at your Facebook profile, and that's great when you constantly changing the backgrounds. Change it once a month, once every couple of months, whatever. But this one here is pretty old. But you get in here, you simply change it by, if I click on it, it pops this menu that you can see on the left-hand side, and I can update my picture. I can reach in there and I can find another picture of myself, and yeah, let's do that with the 2018. We'll just change that to Happy New Year. We can use that for just a little while New Year's is still fresh in our minds. Happy New Year, everybody, by the way. This video is being recorded, we're January 10th, 2018. And so now you can sort of see that in the background there. I'll put this away. I could change my background picture too, but by pushing this button up here on the far upper left. And but you know what? I'm not going to do that just now because that could get kind of crazy. But anyway, and then everything in this center section here, where you see my big picture, and you can see how it just showed up on the because I just changed it. Uh, that is my personal news feed. In other words, that's all the things that I have put on my news feed. And you know, while we're on the subject, that is what they call this section is the news feed. It on the left hand side, it gives you the ability to put in all the different places that you've worked. So you know, I've got all the real estate companies I ever worked for. Then it even goes into if you click on any of these, it'll go deeper and it'll show you that I was in the computer business and the companies that I've worked for. You scroll down a little bit lower, and it shows you my favorite photos. Then it'll give you a sampling of my friends. I happen to have, if you look here in the center, just below the picture of the pool, you'll see I've got 2,508 friends. And so that's pretty cool. The more friends you have, the more exposure you're going to get. And you know, I really cherish friends. I've always, in fact, one of my favorite lines is out of the movie "It's a Wonderful Life," where the angel Clarence writes in the book to George Bailey, Jimmy Stewart. He says, "Dear George, no man is a failure that has friends," and that's kind of how I view life too. So friends are real important to me. Anyway, so now let's go to the next. I already showed you that this is your profile button. Well, this is your news feed button. So we're gonna go there next. But before we do, I want to point out a couple other buttons. This is your friend request button here, and as you can see, mine is dark right now, so I'm not getting any friend requests. This is a message button. It's telling me that I do have one message that I need to look at. And this is a notifications button. It shows me activity that I've had. And so we'll look at them a little bit later, but I wanted to point them out while we're here. But I'm going to now go to the home button. If I go into the home button, that shows me my news feed. In other words, these are my friends that are posting things and they're showing up on my news feed. Now, Facebook has an algorithm that they use to determine who sees what and when. And it's always important to remember Facebook's goal is to keep you on Facebook. So you don't want to put anything on your news feed that's going to lead people away from Facebook, because what they will do is they will squash your presence, so you won't be seen as much as if you put something out there that's going to engage people. And for example, Facebook Live videos. That is right now, that is the thing that is most engaging, and Facebook just loves it. So if you were to put out a Facebook Live, you're going to get a lot of viewership. Facebook's going to push it out there to everybody. So I'm gonna scroll through. There's a couple of my old friends. Not, excuse the word old, but this is my friend Pam Gagnon and her husband Paul Hale. So you know, Pam Hale, and it looks like they've just become grandparents. So congratulations to them. Again, I don't want to make this too basic, but in a case like that, you'd hit the like button or you hit the love button. You can make a comment. You know, congratulations. And remember, congratulations, Pam and Paul. And remember, Facebook likes when you when you engage. Whoops. See, now I made a mistake. Now I'm gonna have to get in there and edit this because I sent it to the wrong Paul. When you type in there, Facebook makes assumptions, or you know, when I type in the word Paul, it puts up all the different people that I know named Paul. So anyway, so I put the wrong Paul in there. So let's see. Another area of Facebook. So okay, so we're talking about the news feed. Now these are the pages where you're going to want to engage with the people that know you. Let's face it, if they're in your news feed right now, that means that they're somewhat active on Facebook. So it makes a lot of sense to communicate with them, to strike up conversations with them. And I always tell people, when you engage with someone, when you ask them a question, make sure to ask open-ended questions so that they tell a story. They don't just answer yes or no. And that gets them engaged, and you can really start up a conversation, which is eventually what you want to do, because then that'll eventually lead to, I like to ask them what they do for a living, and then ultimately they ask you what you do for a living, and that's when real estate can come up, or internet marketing, or whatever it is you're doing. And then you can share with them, what you do, and chances are they may need your services, or maybe they know somebody that does need your services, and that's how you build your business, and that's how you get leads. We're not going to go on too much longer on this first video, but I do want to talk about a couple other things that are right here on the page. I mentioned Facebook Messenger before. Well, on the far right-hand corner, this is showing us all the people that are currently online. If they have a little green dot like right here, those people are currently online right now, and I can be communicating with all of these people. And as you can see, I got a whole bunch of them. You'll see, I think if I get a little further down the list, you'll see people that are not that are no longer online. Like here's one that was on an hour ago. Anyway, then over here on the upper right corner, it shows you your various pages. Well, this is my profile page that we've been looking at. There is such a thing as a fan page, which is also known as a business page. And ultimately, that's where you should be conducting business. Let's face it, you don't want to, it's not a good practice to be advertising. People don't go to Facebook to buy things. They go to Facebook to engage with their friends. And so you don't want to be putting your business out in people's faces on your profile page. You simply want to engage them and then get into private one-on-one conversations. And then if it happens that you start talking about what you do for a living, that's when it's okay to talk about business. But in any event, back to these people here. So those are all the people that are on Facebook Messenger, and you can have one-on-one private conversations with them. You can send them photos. And it's funny too, because a lot of these folks on the right-hand side they go back with me as far as high school. And I'm the guy that always put together our class reunion, so I have a whole bunch of photos from the old days. And if I'm communicating with somebody, I like to shoot them out a photo or two, and it makes it an interesting conversation, which simply encourages them wanting to communicate with me more frequently. But anyway, so let's see. That is, we talked about the profile button. We talked about the home button. We talked about the friend request button and the messages notifications. Down this other column here that I haven't discussed yet, that is Facebook does a lot of advertising in that, and we're going to learn about that down the road, and because that's in Facebook advertising, which that is like creating your very own ATM. But you first have to build your audience, and when you build an audience and then you start doing some Facebook advertising, it's like if you put in $1 and you'll get $3 back. How many dollars are you going to put in? You're just probably going to not, you're going to keep on feeding it. And it really does work that way. So anyway, I think that's about all we're going to cover for right now. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like it. Again, that's another thing that Facebook likes. Their algorithm likes that. So when people like something that you've done, especially if you comment on it and share it, those are all actions that Facebook likes, and so therefore they give you greater exposure. So again, if you just keep that kind of stuff in mind while you're engaging on Facebook, that'll help build your audience, and you'll grow at a faster rate, because that's the whole idea. In fact, this whole idea of internet marketing, getting leads online, it comes down to three simple things, and that's to build an audience, to engage that audience, and to sell that audience. And there's many different ways to do that, many different ways on social media. My recommendation is that you start with Facebook, but then you grow into all of the other social media platforms that are available. And we're going to get into that in the next 5 days. But for now, I want to thank you for being here once again. And don't forget, if you like this, please like it, share it, and comment on it. And that would be pretty awesome. So thanks very much, and have a great day.